So you've worked your whole life, paid your mortgage, paid your taxes, maybe yelled at a few clouds, and now it's finally time to retire. You dreamed of warm weather, low stress, and maybe a decent view that didn't include old Ned from across the street watering his lawn in a robe and dress shoes with socks all the way up to his knees. But surprise, that cozy retirement town you had your eye on just got gentrified, overrun with tech bros, and now charge $9 for a cup of tea. In today's video, we're looking at US cities where retirees are getting the boot. That's right, whether it's sky-high home prices, insurance rates that'll make you faint, or property taxes that could fund a small army, these cities have basically told retirees, thanks for your service, now scram. Stick around because we're counting down the places where the golden years are starting to feel more like a garage sale. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Sarasota, Florida. Paradise with an asterisk. Sarasota has long been considered a Floridian retirement utopia. Sunny beaches, plenty of early bird specials, and world-class healthcare. But recently, the cost of living in Sarasota has shot up like a beach umbrella in a hurricane. Average home prices have soared past $400,000, and flood insurance premiums are eating into retiree budgets at an alarming rate. The increase in demand from remote workers and wealthy seasonal residents has driven up property values, leaving full-time retirees struggling to hold on. With hurricanes more frequent and insurance carriers pulling out of Florida altogether, retirees are being forced to choose between paying triple for coverage or packing up for more inland storm-resistant pastures. In 2020, the average home value in Sarasota, Florida was $279,831. In 2025, June also, $433,790. That's a difference of about $154,000. Number 9, Asheville, North Carolina. Quirky, cool, and getting crowded. Asheville used to be one of the best kept secrets in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Its artsy hippie vibe, mild climate, and walkable downtown made it ideal for retirees seeking community and culture without breaking the bank. But in the past decade, the secret's gotten out. Big time. Now the hippies and old folks are being kicked aside like a dog that won't stop humping your leg. Real estate prices have skyrocketed due to the influx of remote workers, vacation home buyers, and younger retirees with deep pockets. Now they did take a bit of a hit after the hurricane hit them last year, but they're coming back, and it hit them hard. The city's charm is still there, but the housing costs and competition for healthcare services have made life tougher for longtime retirees. Many are moving to smaller nearby towns or even out of state to find that slower, simpler lifestyle they came to Asheville for. Asheville's one of those places that was just hot for quite a few years. I mean, it still sort of is. Like I said, the hurricane did some damage to, I wouldn't say the reputation, but the desire people had to move there. That won't last. People will be right back at it, moving to Asheville soon because it's a beautiful area. Nice little town. In 2020, the average home value in Asheville, North Carolina was $321,635. That's June of 2020. June of 2025, it's $487,190. That's a difference of almost $165,000. Number 8, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Amazing, historic, and increasingly expensive. Santa Fe has always attracted retirees with a taste for culture, art galleries, and dry desert air. But this southwestern sanctuary is no longer the affordable escape it once was. Housing prices have surged due to rising demand and out-of-state buyers looking for second homes and investments. Makes me think of old Gene Hackman. That was tragic. That was just a horrible story. He and his wife passed away there, in case you didn't see this in the news. He was 95 years old, he had dementia, and his wife was his only caregiver. Well, she got the hantavirus and passed away in the house. Because of his advanced Alzheimer's disease, he didn't seek help. Authorities believe he was unable to comprehend the death due to the Alzheimer's disease. Such a sad story. All right, back to how expensive Santa Fe is getting. The city's strict zoning and limited housing stock have only made the problem worse when it comes to cost of living and cost of housing. They've got rising property taxes and limited access to healthcare compared to larger metros, and many older residents are quietly packing up and heading to more affordable areas in southern New Mexico and even Arizona. Santa Fe's Adobe dream is still there, but these days it costs a whole lot more to live in. In 2020, the average home value in Santa Fe, New Mexico was $422,292. In 2025, that's up to $591,132. That's a difference of almost $169,000. Number 7, Nashville, Tennessee. Music City is out of tune for retirees. Nashville used to be a haven for retirees looking for mild winters, low taxes, and good music, but the last decade has seen explosive growth and skyrocketing home values. The average home price climbed past $550,000, and that's just the beginning. The demand for housing has also driven up rents and property taxes, putting the pressure on seniors with fixed incomes. On top of that, the city's infrastructure is strained under the weight of its booming population. Traffic congestion, rising crime rates in some areas, and limited access to healthcare in rapidly growing suburbs are driving retirees away. Not saying the healthcare is bad. It's actually pretty good in Nashville. It's just access is a problem. When you have more and more people moving in there and you don't have enough hospitals and enough doctors, it becomes a problem. That happens with any boomtown, not just Nashville. Nashville is sort of a boomtown right now. Many retirees are cashing out and heading to quieter parts of Tennessee, like Memphis. Totally kidding. Don't move to Memphis. And some retirees are ditching the state altogether in search of affordability and fewer bachelorette parties. If you don't know, there's like bachelorette parties in Nashville every single weekend. In 2020, the average home value in Nashville, Tennessee was $419,776. 2025, that has jumped up to $590,132. That means the price rose a little over $170,000. Number 6, South Florida. Now this one's about a whole area. It's the Miami metro area pretty much. Bunch of cities in there, they're all seeing the same stuff. Florida was supposed to be the retiree capital of the world, but South Florida, it's turning hostile. Condo insurance premiums have exploded, maintenance fees have doubled, and many buildings require costly renovations after the Surfside tragic collapse. If you didn't see that, it was horrible. This was a 12-story beachfront condominium in the Miami suburb of Surfside, Florida. And it had a partial collapse, led to 98 people being killed. This has forced Florida to make a lot of changes. And as we all know, changes cost money. Retirees on fixed incomes are being forced out as buildings slap on six-figure special assessment to pay for structural updates and code compliance. One day it's bingo night, the next you owe $75,000 for concrete repairs. 2 weeks later, you gotta pitch in another $25,000 for new fire escapes. It's not sustainable, and many are fleeing inland or out of state entirely, leaving behind paradise for peace of mind and a fatter checking account. I mean, honestly, how many retirees can just pull $75,000 out of their butt and pay for something like that? It's time to move on when they tell you that the first time. Then they want more and more and more. What a nightmare. One of the biggest problems in Florida right now is the homeowners insurance. It's gone through the roof. So much so that many insurance companies have pulled out of Florida entirely. In 2020, the average home value in the Miami metro area was $363,495. In 2025, that's up to $592,225. That's a jump of $228,000. Number 5, Boulder, Colorado. Nature's beauty with a hefty price tag. Boulder's like a Patagonia catalog that came to life. Mountain trails, clean air, and organic everything. It's no surprise that retirees once saw this as the perfect spot to enjoy nature and stay active. But that dream has become ridiculously expensive. Average home values here are hovering around $1 million, and that's for something modest. Property taxes are manageable, but everything else, groceries, utilities, healthcare, is priced like Boulder thinks it's Aspen, but better. Boulder is nice, but it's no Aspen. And cue the person that wants to argue that with me. That's my opinion. Whenever I say something like that, I get tons of people, oh, dude, you have no idea. Boulder's so much better than Aspen. Aspen's, oh my God, it just goes on and on. That's an opinion. You have yours, I have mine, and mine is Boulder is no Aspen. I'm also of the opinion that ketchup does not belong anywhere near a hot dog. Pineapple should never be put on a pizza. And of course, ding-dongs need to be put back in tinfoil. Now you take Boulder and you add the increasing number of tech workers and wealthy remote professionals flooding the area, and it's easy to see why retirees are quietly packing up their hiking poles and heading to smaller, more affordable towns on the Front Range, or leaving Colorado altogether to try and convince themselves that no, Wyoming is just like Colorado. Here's another opinion. It's not. In 2020, the average home value in Boulder, Colorado was $769,183. Now that's a lot, even by today's standards. But right now in 2025, it is $1,001,242. That is a difference of $232,000. That's rough. Number 4, Charleston, South Carolina. Charm ain't cheap. Charleston is dripping with history, culture, and Southern charm. It's no wonder it's attracted waves of retirees over the last 20 years. But lately, those historic streets have come with the modern-day headaches, namely rising housing prices and skyrocketing insurance premiums. The cost of living in Charleston is kind of jumping up too. Now, the insurance premiums have to do with Charleston's low elevation and worsening flood risks. Many longtime residents are seeing their home insurance double or even get canceled. Meanwhile, developers are buying up real estate and driving up costs in popular neighborhoods. For retirees on fixed incomes, it's hard to compete with out-of-town buyers and investors turning charming cottages into weekend Airbnbs. The result, like so many other states, many seniors are cashing out and relocating farther inland. Or they move to Alabama and they cry themselves to sleep 9 out of 10 nights. I love Charleston. Charleston's a beautiful city. If you ever get a chance to move there or just visit, I would suggest doing it. The thing is, these days, you got to be able to afford it. Charleston used to be a cheaper option than a lot of the major cities in Florida. Now it's catching up with Florida. I don't know. If you got the money, it might be worth it. If you don't, yeah, head on inland. Alabama's got plenty of land for you at a fraction of the price. In 2020, the average home value in Charleston, South Carolina was $351,122. In 2025, that's jumped up to $588,916. That's a jump of about $237,000. Number 3, Bend, Oregon, where retirees are getting priced out by paddleboarders. Bend was once a hidden gem of Oregon, with retirees flocking to its outdoor lifestyle, beautiful high desert views, and a friendly community. But those secrets don't stay buried forever. In recent years, Bend has become a magnet for remote workers, wealthy Californians, and second home buyers. As a result, home prices have skyrocketed past $700,000 in some neighborhoods, and hot yoga places have waiting lists. Oh, the humanity. I guess those women in Bend will just have to go back to their old exercise, drinking wine at noon. The influx of wealth has pushed property taxes higher and added pressure on local services. While Bend still has its appeals, retirees are finding the cost of staying there year-round is no longer sustainable. Many are selling and looking east or heading back toward the valley for something more budget-friendly. I love Bend. Been there a few times. I'd live in Bend in a heartbeat, but it is expensive. Doesn't have as many trees as I like, but it's still nice. Nice and expensive. In 2020, the average home value in Bend, Oregon was $502,679. In 2025, that has jumped up to $751,026. That is almost a $250,000 difference. Number 2, Bozeman, Montana, where the Wild West got Silicon Valley'd. Bozeman once offered retirees a mix of rugged beauty and small-town charm, but like many smaller cities near the mountains, Bozeman became a post-pandemic magnet for remote workers, second home buyers, and Airbnb people. Now the housing market is wild, sort of like a girl I dated in the 90s who drank wine before 8 a.m. The average home value in Bozeman is well over $700,000, and there's not much in the way of affordable alternatives. This boom has squeezed out many locals, including the retirees, who are now heading to even smaller Montana towns or out of state altogether, like North Dakota and the state of depression. The influx of wealth has driven up the property taxes, strained infrastructure, and transformed Bozeman into a place where only those with a steady six-figure income and or a trust fund can live comfortably. I don't know if I'd ever live in Bozeman year-round. I mean, it's a great place to be in the winter. For a visit. I mean, those winters get pretty long up there. But it is a beautiful place to live, so I could see why so many people flocked there. I'm sure the locals don't appreciate it, but I'm sure the local businesses do. The average home value in 2020 in Bozeman, Montana was $492,176. In 2025, it is $743,496. That's a difference of about $251,000. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to one of the places on this list or any place in the United States, there's a link for a website called Home and Money in the description area below. They can get you in touch with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Flagstaff, Arizona. Too cool for your budget. Flagstaff used to be a dream for retirees wanting cooler weather without leaving Arizona. Surrounded by pine forest and far fewer 100-degree days than Phoenix, it drew in seniors looking for tranquility and decent air. But that charm has become unaffordable, like so many things. That's the strange thing, people. If a place is nice, people will want to come there. Wherever you live, I'm sure your people in your, family in the past came to wherever you're at, or you recently went to where you're at because you heard the place was nice. If you don't want anyone moving to your town, start running it like Mississippi. But the average home prices in Flagstaff have soared past $600,000, driven by university demand, tourism, and Californians fleeing even pricier zip codes. Now, in case you don't know, Northern Arizona University is pretty much in the middle of town in Flagstaff. So there's a lot of demand for housing. Add in inflation with creeping property taxes, and retirees find themselves trading in quiet mountain mornings for rent hikes and HOA fees. In other words, the cabin in the pines fantasy comes with a bill fewer and fewer retirees can afford. Start looking at rent prices and go, I could live in a beach community for this price. I still think I should do a video on HOAs. The nightmare stories that come out about them, they're actually ridiculous, kind of humorous, but you could tell that these HOAs push people to the end. Their rope is like frayed. Anyway, in 2020, the average home value in Flagstaff was $417,330. In 2025, that is up to $672,032. That is a difference of $255,000. A little less, but $255,000. That's freaking brutal. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. Everyone have a great day. Be nice to each other.